Hey, how you doing? What's going on? It's Erica Lane, the Money Elevation Strategist. And yes, we start on time around here. Uh, Listen, this is not meant to be long, but it's meant to give you all the things you need to avoid pricing yourself out of profit during Black Friday. Um, just going to do the quick one twos, which is obviously making sure that I'm live and I'm not just talking to myself. Uh, y'all know how this happens. Uh, definitely want to make sure that we do that. Um, and we have one, two, three. Okay, so we are good to go on um, on these platforms. Just making sure I'm sharing this out real quick, y'all, and then we're gonna jump into this information and get this thing done. Um, why can't I find my own? There we go. All right, so we are now live, good, and we are in living color. All right, let's jump into it. 5 steps to avoid pricing yourself out of profit during Black Friday. Because listen, it's coming. Like whether we like it or not, Black Friday is coming. And so the best thing that I think entrepreneurs can do is to be prepared for Black Friday, right? To be prepared for Black Friday. And part of that preparation is absolutely positively pricing, right? It is pricing because what I find is a lot of entrepreneurs, what they do is they they put everything on sale. It's 70% off, 90% off. But the problem is that their products or services cannot withstand that hit, right? So they end up hustling backwards and not making any money for Black Friday. So they may process a lot of sales. They may, get a lot of clients in the building, but when they're done, all is said and done, they don't have no money left to either run the business A or B. Um, for themselves. So we want to change that and we want to change the game on that. Okay, so definitely want to do that. Being fancy. I have the slides up. Look at me being fancy. Y'all better watch me in this tech. Is all I'm saying. Uh, well, before we jump into that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I am the Money Elevation Strategist, right? 6-time number one Amazon best-selling author, certified international keynote speaker. I've tripled my income using what is now my profitable entrepreneur money makeover program. You'll hear more about that later. I'm an award-winning entrepreneur profit coach and annual summit founder, and I've been featured in all of the press and all of the places. This is what I look like when I am being fancy and all the things. And these are all of the places that I've been featured. And there's more. I just haven't updated. I got to update the slide. So the first things first, we have to jump into is mindset with money because the reality is we can give you all the tools and all the things that you need, right? But quite frankly, if what's between your ears doesn't change, obviously, um, you don't, excuse me. And so make sure that you are willing and able to receive information from a money perspective, because what I find is that people who aren't ready, right, from a mindset perspective, and how you manage your money and the relationship that you have with your money, um, you end up you end up pricing your products and services from that perspective, right? And from a low vibration space, and you want to vibrate high. So make sure that when you are thinking about pricing, your mind is open, right? You're in a space where you are willing to receive kind of this kind of information, because I can be honest with you, sometimes it may be a little bit scary for some of us, right? So just make sure that you're there. Okay. But before we do anything, right, I think I need to outline what profit really is, because I think people have a very big misconception of what profit is, right? Profit, people think that once you sell something, you've made profit. That is not the case. Profit is a financial gain, especially the difference between the amount earned and the amount spent in buying, operating, and producing something like your business. So quite frankly, right, profit just is, I always say revenue minus expenses will give you your profit will give you your profit numbers, right? Because you do have to bring in revenue and you do have to pay your expenses, right? And there's lots of them, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that will give you your profit, right? Just be clear that selling something is processing a payment for goods or service, right? So you're producing revenue when you sell things, right? But you're not necessarily, the rest of that equation is still there, right? So you want to make sure that you're not only producing, you're clear on what your expenses are and you're clear on what your profit margins are. Okay. So there is that. The next thing that you're going to do, oops, I moved a little too fast. Your business operating expenses. This is key. So the first thing you need to understand is what your business operating expenses are, right? You need to be clear on what it takes to actually run your business. That is what I call the BOE, right? Your business operating expenses. So, things like team, things like the space that you run your business from. What about products and services? All of those things go into your business operating expenses, paying you, amen, because you need to be paid. So make sure that you have all of these things in your business operating expenses, and it should be lined out. So when you talk about your business operating expenses, oftentimes you'll be talking about a budget. Yeah, I know. Did you say that B word? I sure did. Right. Make sure that you understand the budget, right, of your business. Listen, know your numbers. If you know nothing else, I say this all the time. You need to know your numbers. Be clear on what your business operating expenses are. Go line by line. Include things like marketing, sales, right? Team, right? You need to make sure that events, products and services, right? But everything should have a line item, professional development, right? Everything should have a line item in your budget, okay? Because on a monthly basis, you're going to have to invest in these things in order to help your business run and grow. Okay, so these are some more expenses to think about. Things that I think people forget: utilities. I mentioned professional development, team, business meals, taxis, Ubers, shipping, phones, printing, legal, right? Business savings. One I want to point out, because I feel like people really forget these, is insurances, right? That's a big one where people tend to forget. Retirement is another one that people tend to forget, because remember, as an entrepreneur, anybody saving for your retirement, it's on you, right? Right. And licensing, right? So if you need licensing for your industry, I want to make sure that what cost that is on a monthly or annual basis, depending on what you do. Okay, so your profit goals need to be smart. We've all heard this before: specific, measurable, achieving, realistic, and timely. Make sure that you are creating proper profit goals, right? You're clear on what it is that you want to make in your business. It should not be a guess. You should not be out here guessing how much profit you're going to make in your business. You should be commanding and demanding, right, and deciding what the profit is going to be in your business, right? So you should definitely be doing that. Just make sure that those goals are realistic. No, let's not talk about $1 million profit goals when we haven't made $10,000, right? So we need to be specific, we need to be measurable, we need to be achievable, but be realistic. I think that R is real important to me, right? And then we want to talk about fulfillment. Y'all, do not forget this piece, because oftentimes when we are doing Black Friday, we are not thinking about fulfillment. Everybody's excited. They want to make their sales. They want to make their graphics. They want to make all the things, right? But no one is thinking about how you're actually going to process for your what you sold, right? And what the cost is in doing that, right? Because most of the times it's like, oh, I can make all this money, I could do all the things, but you're not thinking about the cost of fulfillment. Make sure that you're clear on what that cost is. What is the customer service cost going to be? What is the team cost going to be? What is the cost for the system? I'm just giving you the things that you need to be thinking about as you're going through, right, Black Friday. Okay, so now I'm going to give you your pricing equation, because quite frankly, that's what you came here for. Right? So you want your product cost creation, like what does it cost to create your product or service, whatever the thing is that you're selling. What is the cost to create that product or service, plus your profit percentage? What your profit percentage is on you. Some people use 20%, some people go all the way to 60-70%. It's just up to you what your profit percentage will be. But I will tell you, in that should be paying you, right? And that should be paying you. It should also be uh, growth, sustainability, all the things, right? We talked about your BOE, so it should be inside. That should also be your BOE, and then divided by the units to be sold. Well, how many of these items will you have? Are you going to have 10, 20, 30? Because that's going to depend. That's going to take down the price. Remember, you have to make this reasonable, because quite frankly, no one's going to pay $100 for a mug, right? That's just not it's not really going to happen. So make sure that you do that. But divided by the units sold, and that's your pricing equation. Boom, it's done, right? So product cost creation plus profit percentage plus BOE divided by units to be sold. That is the equation, and that's how you find your pricing, right? Just don't forget your inventory, right? Think about things like how much stock that you have on how much item of the item you have on stock already. What will you need to order based on your goals? What is the delivery schedule, right? So make sure you're clear on if it takes them 2 weeks to get it to you, make sure that you've ordered it in more than enough time for them to get it to you. Why? Because as you are going up in time, so are they, right? It's Black Friday for everybody. So you want to get your stuff early on, which is why I stress planning Black Friday out and not waiting until the moment. And now you're all to pieces. There's only one thing left to do, y'all. And that's to sell out for Black Friday, right? I've given you like what you need to do. I've told you how to set goals. I've told you about your BOE. I've told you how to pricing. I've given you the pricing equation, right? I talked about fulfillment. I did all of those things, right? And this time that we spent together, now is your time to sell out for Black Friday, right? Because quite frankly, there should be no broke entrepreneurs around Black Friday unless there are things that you skipped. So definitely want to give you an opportunity because I feel like there's so much more to talk about. I couldn't talk about in this quick live. But there's so much more to do and that I will do for Black Friday. And so I have a whole workshop called the Blueprint. Yes, the Profit Blueprint Workshop, 60 days of Black Friday sellout success. You get to spend 60 days with me. And we will go through it all, right? We'll talk about your offer fulfillment roadmap. We'll give you a whole roadmap on how to make sure your fulfillment is now whack, right? That you're delivering on time, every time to the clients, and they are amazing and they become raving fans, right? And also give you a strategy of how to make the people who purchase from you on Black Friday, your fans, and delivering for the whole year, but that's a whole nother story, right? Your profit driven pricing strategy, 60-day Black Friday actionable game plan. Yes, action taken. We're not just going to leave you out here, right? So it's 60 days. We'll give you some time before the workshop. We'll get some stuff done after the workshop. We'll also follow up with you on after Black Friday to see what worked, what didn't work, what happened, right? And all the things that happened. So we ain't going to leave you out here high and dry. And there's also going to be a connection between all the entrepreneurs who are going to be in the space. Just because in the workshop, because I believe collaboration and connection is powerful. And I know in workshops previously, people have actually collaborated on their Black Friday offers and made more money together than they would have separately. So there's that. You can register for that at profitbpworkshop.com. And we will be excited to help you and get you in that workshop for pennies on the dollar. Just to be quite honest, the workshop is September 26th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like, Erica, hey, I got this. The I got the equation from you. I'm good on Black Friday. I will also offer you 30 days with the Chief Profit Coach. That's me for Profitable Entrepreneur Money Makeover Program. This program has everything from profit mindset to pricing structures to streamlining products and services and so much more. So if you are interested in that, you are absolutely able to get that. We start class on the 30th, and so on the 1st rather. We start class on the 1st, and so I'm super excited about that. Well, listen, it has been my pleasure. I am so excited for all that there is for you. Remember that it doesn't matter how much revenue you generate. It's all about the profit that you get to keep. My name is Erica Lane, the Money Elevation Strategist. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.